of all, Shalom Aleichem. I want to learn together, I want to talk about Bikurim tonight, to learn together some thoughts on Bikurim. There are two svarim that what I'm saying is coming from the Svasemis and from the Noam Elimelech, are the two places that are coming from the Torah, but those are two of the svarim through the eyes of the Svasemis and the Noam Elimelech. The Svasemis has many pieces, is handling the following Medrash Tanchuma. The Medrash Tanchuma, quoting a pasuk in Tehillim, the Medrash Tanchuma says that Moshe Rabbeinu was worried with Churban Beis Hamikdash, we're going to lose Bikurim. We're not going to have the mitzvah anymore of Bikurim. We're going to lose Bikurim, it's going to be shver. So Moshe was misakein that we should daven Shachris Mincha and Ma'ariv. In lieu of Bikurim, we should have the tefillas of Shachris Mincha and Ma'ariv. That's what the Medrash Tanchuma says on the spot. And the Svasemis has many pieces. What is it about Bikurim? About this mitzvah of Bikurim? Yes, the Svasemis is going, and many years he spoke about this. That the Medrash Tanchuma says Moshe Rabbeinu was worried with the Churban Beis Hamikdash we lose the mitzvah of Bikurim. And as such, Moshe was misaken Shachris Mincha and Ma'ariv. And the question is, what shaykhs do Shachris Mincha and Ma'ariv have to do with Bikurim? What shaykhs? The two things. So I want to discuss two aspects of Bikurim, and both of these aspects when Shachris and Mincha. I have thoughts about Ma'ariv, but that I don't have a pshat in Ma'ariv. The Svasemis says ideas about Ma'ariv. But one inyan of Bikurim is that the Rashis, right off the bat, the Yid's busy with Hashem. The Yid worked his head off, and it's his first thing that he's harvesting, mamish, his first thing. And the normal would be that the first thing, he'd use it for all different things, but the Torah's mitzvah, the first thing is for Hashem. And of course, that's the first thing is kaiveya. Soif ma'aseh machshava tchila. The beginning is kaiveya, the first thought. In anything, we're all our children, us, we're beginning, the kolos, the beginning of his man. And the beginning, we're coming to Rosh Hashanah. The beginning matters a lot. Beginnings are very significant. I take very seriously the first meeting with the Rebbeim of the year. The first days of the year, a big thing. Toiv achas davar mirashisa. Beginnings matter a lot. The first impression, the haschala of things, they just are very, very significant. And the vert, that the first fruit, he doesn't, what's the first thing, the first machshav of a Yid is for Hashem, is kaiveya, that the Yid is busy with Hashem. That's what he's about. That's what he's focused on, Hashem. And it's very, very reminiscent to Tefillah Shachris. At the beginning of the day, the Yid wakes up, and the first activity, he doesn't do malacha before Shabbos, before Shachris. Even activities the Yid does before Shachris are only as a hechsher to prepare for Shachris, to get him ready. If he learns, he wants to come l'tfilah mitoich limud Torah. He washes up a little bit is hikol nikras alekecha, is preparing to daven. But Shachris is kaiveya. This is what, I might be busy all day and have things, but I'm kaiveya, what I'm about, what my thoughts are, what my tafkid is. The Shachris Keneged Bikurim is very, very stark comparison. The Mincha, I want to express on Mincha, Bikurim, the farmer busted. He mamish works his head off. Hazayim b'dimah. The picture to me of the hardworking person is the farmer. And he spends the whole summer, he's mamish working hard, sweating in the sun. I picture somebody, mamish, a hard worker, is the farmer. And the tendency when somebody works hard is to attribute the success to oneself. I work so hard, so success comes from oneself. Look, I put in all this work. Bikurim is after all the work of the farmer, and he finally gets something, he gives it to Hashem. is the akara that it comes from Hashem. Hagam, I work hard, but who gave me the koyach? Hashem gave me the koyach lasas chayil. Hashem gave me the power, the intelligence. It's all from Hashem. And Hagam, there's amelus in a person. And of course, a person has a space to operate, but the akara that things come from Hashem. I always notice, again, everybody has their own nisyanis, which davening, there's the nisyan of minchas, we're all like in the middle of our days. We're pashat, mamish, in middle, there's so many things we're in middle of. And he stops and he davens mincha. And the lesson of mincha is, Hagam, I'm working, I'm so busy, Hashem, I'm mamish busy, it's all you. In middle of his work, mamish, at the heart of his work, while he's orangutan in work, the Yid stops and he davens mincha. Mincha is the hakara that even though the person's involved and busy and it's mitzvah to do with shtadlus, but he pauses and he's makir, it's all from Hashem. And very similar to the inyan of Bikurim, the farmer who with all his amelus, his toil, his work, and there's a sense that it's mine, it belongs to me, the Yid pauses and he acknowledges that it's all from Hashem. The Ma'ariv, where Ma'ariv comes in, Bemis, you have to, a Medrash is serious. The Medrash says, Shachris Mincha Ma'ariv, he was Misakin. Where is Ma'ariv in terms of Bikurim? Where does Ma'ariv come into play? And I'm not sure Pshat. The Sfas Emes says something, I want to share a thought I have, but it's not exact. Shachris and Mincha, when there's no Bikurim, the beauty of Bikurim, that the first thing of our Amelus goes to Hashem. What a Yid's about, and it's Kaiveya that everything subsequently, what a Yid's about. That it's Shachris, that's like, makes a lot of sense to me. The mincha, the word of the Yid, Hagam, there was Amelus. Hagam is in middle. Hagam, he put a lot in, but he's makir, it's from Hashem. Nonetheless, he's makir, it's from Hashem. That I hear in Bikurim, and I hear in the Tfilas Mincha. Why Ma'ariv and Bikurim? There's not going to be Bikurim, so let's daven Ma'ariv. So I want to express like this, and I don't know the answer. Ma'ariv for sure ties into Emunah. When it's dark, it's at night, and for sure there's an inyan of Ma'ariv, of Emunah, a space of Emunah. Yaakov is the Av who goes into Galus, who's Misakin Tfilas Ma'ariv. By Ma'ariv we speak about Emunah Kol Zais, Hashem Elokeinu Ve'en Zulasai. Ma'ariv for sure ties into the inyan of Emunah. And I do wonder that when the Yid brings Bikurim and enjoys the fruit and feels such an appreciation to Hashem, he speaks about our history. Arami Ovid Avi, Vayered Mitzrayma, and then we had a tough journey. And I wonder, from the chesed of Hashem, from absorbing the kindness, the Yid doesn't just he enjoys the bracha, but he also gains an emunah on the whole journey. The Yid in absorbing the kindness of Hashem, but he turns it into emunah. And he speaks, we had a whole complicated history, but he sees, it's funny, he's eating fruit. The Yid's mamish eating some fruit. But he turns it into a whole story of emunah. It interests me every time we bench, we do this, mamish. When we bench, we start davening for Yerushalayim, of Nei Yerushalayim, HaKodesh. It's funny, Moshe. We're asking, we're benching, we got food. Thank you, Hashem. But the Yid benches, he starts praying for Geula, of Nei Yerushalayim. And to me, it seems that the Yid in eating, and again, this is a high madrega. I don't say we're over, but there's a shayrish when the Yid's feeling the kindness of Hashem, that he taps into a space of emunah, that he taps in through the journey. Hashem's bringing me places through the difficulty. And I wonder that the Yid, when he brought Bikurim, he would spoke about our whole journey and our whole history. What shaychus, he's bringing Bikurim. He starts saying, we'll say another pshat from the Noam Elimelech in a few minutes. What's the Yid saying our story? He's bringing Bikurim. Then he starts speaking about it, Jewish history. What shaychus to Bikurim? I'll say a pshat from the Noam Elimelech. But I'm suggesting now that when the Yid feels the kindness of Hashem, the Yid goes to our story and speaks about the difficulties and the challenges. It fills the Yid with emunah. Hashem was working with us. And the Yid himself, who feels and receives the bounty, the kindness of Hashem, turns it into emunah. So it could be that's the Tfilas Ma'ariv. Moshe Rabbeinu was worried, we're not going to have Bikurim. The emunah that comes from the Yid receiving the kindness of Hashem, he was Misak in Tfilas Ma'ariv, perhaps, is the prayer of the Yid's emunah. Maybe. It's not exact. It might not be exact. Perhaps, it's a medrash that Moshe was Misak in Shachris, Mincha, and Ma'ariv. Somehow those three prayers connect to Bikurim. That's a thought on the Tfilas Ma'ariv. I want to say over what the Noam Elimelech says because I found it to be very powerful. He asks a whole bunch of questions. I'm going to say, Shemi, 4 of the questions that the Noam Elimelech asks on Bikurim. He asks question 1 on Bikurim, that he brings a medrash again, that says, Bereshis is Bishvil Bikurim Shenikra Reshis. That the whole world was created for Bikurim. Bereshis, Bishvil Bikurim, the whole Bereshis Bar Elokim, Shemayim Vesarts, Bikurim was the Tachlis HaKol. The Noam Elimelech says, why is it's a mitzvah, beautiful mitzvah? Why is that the Tachlis HaKol? Why is that the goal of it all? Question 1 of the Noam Elimelech. Question 2 of the Noam Elimelech is he says that the Yid says our history. He gives a whole recollection. It sounds like the formation of our people was only for this mitzvah. We do many mitzvahs. When we do a mitzvah, we don't start speaking about the creation of Am Yisrael. We do this mitzvah, we speak about the formation of our people, of Am Yisrael. And my question simply is, the Noam Elimelech's question is, why is this so fundamental to the creation of our people, the mitzvah Bikurim? Question 3 he asks, he brings from the 4th parak of Masechtas Bikurim, where it says that when they brought the Bikurim, the whole city would go. It was like a huge procession. He says it's a beautiful mitzvah, the farmers doing it. Why does it belong to the klal? Why is everybody going to Zaman? When they bring Bikurim, a Yachid has the first. It was a whole procession, and he brings the Mishnah, describes this magnificent procession. What's this emphasis, this dagesh on the mitzvah Bikurim, that it's Klal Yisrael's mitzvah again? It's question 3. His 4th question he asks is, the Gemara says normally workers in the middle of working are not allowed to stop working even to stand up for a Talmud Chacham. Ehrlichkeit, honesty. We learned together last week the Parsha about honesty, to be emistic with mishkalos, and somebody's a hired worker, doesn't interrupt. They're hired, they're paid for a job. They can't leave their responsibilities. They're hired for a job. And yet it says when the Yidden came by bringing Bikurim, it says even people involved in Malacha stand up. The Gemara wonders on that, and one teretz of the Gemara says that a mitzvah is bigger, a Yid doing a mitzvah is bigger than a Talmud Chacham. A Yid b'shas a mitzvah, a worker does not stand up for a learner of Torah, Talmud Chacham. A Yid in the middle of a mitzvah, chaviv in mitzvah b'shaitim, one teretz the Gemara, a Yid in the middle of doing a mitzvah is like a tremendous connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom, and as such, a worker stands up for a Yid in the middle of a mitzvah. What mitzvah is the example is Bikurim? Yes, the Noam Elimelech, any mitzvah would be true. Why does it single out Bikurim? Not that it's only true by Bikurim, chaviv and mitzvah b'shaita, but it chose Bikurim to teach this. A Yid doing a mitzvah is big stuff, stand up. Why the mitzvah Bikurim? That's the 4 questions of the Noam Elimelech. Let's chazer the 4 question Noam Elimelech. He brings the medrash that Bereshis is Bishvil Bikurim. The whole world was created for Bikurim. Why Bikurim of all the mitzvahs? He brings that the Yid says the history of Am Yisrael, Arami Ovid Avi, and we left Mitzrayim. What we say Pesach night is from the Sugya Bikurim. Why do you speak about the formation of our people in this mitzvah? There's a mashmois. There's an implication. It sounds like that we were created for the mitzvah Bikurim. Lama. Question 2. Question 3, he says the Mishnah in Bikurim that the whole tzibur would come out. Sounds like it's a Klal Yisrael thing, Bikurim. It's one person going to thank Hashem. What is it that Klal Yisrael? And then question 4, he says that Chazal teach us that you stop, even work, to stand up for a person doing a mitzvah, specifically people bringing Bikurim, is highlighted, Chavivin mitzvah b'shaita. When you speak about the holiness of a yid doing a mitzvah, it speaks about Bikurim. Why Bikurim? These are 4 of them. He has assorted more questions, but 4 of the questions the Noam Melech asks. So I want to be honest, and it's not against them. I want to say what I'm borrow my tata Rini Kaparas Mishkava would say. If I would ask my father this question, Zaidi Maishi would say Akaras Atoiv. My father would go, no, he would say, Daniel, you could say what you want to say. He would like to hear what I'd say. He said, I'd like to hear, I could hear my father saying, Daniel Akaras Atoiv. My father was somebody who had tremendous gratitude. It was a mitzvah of gratitude. It was something he lived in. It was a tremendous makir tov. I could talk about big things. I've talked certainly to his wife, for a suda, to people he ate by. It's interesting, in Eretz Yisrael, to soldiers. My brother, just the other week, said, you remember Abba to the soldiers? He had tremendous gratitude. He would thank. He would pay. You ever seen this, Abel? He would thank. Soldiers he passed by always, he'd stop and thank. It was a sense of gratitude. A police officer, gratitude. I remember Pesach hotels we ate at. The waiter was giving a lot of gratitude. And he told me quite a few times, his Rebbe, he had many great Rebbeim, but his Rebbe, who he viewed as Rebbe for life, was Reb Chaim Shmulevitz. And he said the thing he spoke about most was gratitude, was Akar Satayv. And to my father, all these 4 questions, he would say that the whole world was created for gratitude, to a person to connect to Hashem, gratitude, Akar Satayv. That would be Bereshis, Bishvil the Bikurim, that he is Makir Toiv. I'm certain he would say that the Inyan Am Yisrael is gratitude. I've said over this year a lot that Keith Siegel, when he asked, what is it, Ma Mashmot, what does it mean to be a Yid? He said to thank. The Sfas Emes says we're called Yehudim, we're the thankers. The Torah writes on Bris Milah that we're Hashem's people, we're the one who thank Him. Chayiv L'hoidos. A Yid means we're the thankers, we're the ones who are makir Hashem, appreciate Hashem. Gratitude, that's a Yid. So we say the formation of our people is we're the makirei tov, we're the ones who recognize in all successes the Rabbeinu Shalom. He would say that the whole Am Yisrael joins, we say, Gadol Hashem iti, and Ram Mashma Yachtav. When one Yid has gratitude, the job is. I told my father once told my father that at Simcha, I'm a little embarrassed to thank Hashem in public. I told my father. He said, Abba, it feels like a very private matter, like I'm being frum in front of everybody. And he didn't like that at all. He told me that the carbon taida, bedafka, you have to eat normally kachim kalim, you have 2 days and a night to eat. He told me the Netziv, that kachim kalim normally has 2 days and a night. The taida, you have 1 day and a night, and it's 40 loaves. Imagine eating 40 loaves of bread in 24 hours. Who could eat? So you'd mamish be bloated. The person they'd have to call you, so it'll be life-threatening. So the Netziv says you have no choice but to invite many people. And the Netziv says the whole point Hashem did you at Tava is to be Rabbim, Gadol Hashemiti, come, I want to share with you. So my father said, you're embarrassed to thank Hashem publicly. He was only native to you, so you're mefarsim. You should say it to others. Hashem is so kind. Gadol Hashemiti, come, be Megadol Hashem with me. Let's be Merayim Shem Hashem together. So it would be very pashut to him that the whole tzibur went along. And to the question that Chaviv in mitzvah b'shaita, he would say gratitude. It wouldn't be a kasha. I could picture, I know what he said about gratitude, And when I think of like saying the second pshat, like not to acknowledge that all these kashas, this mitzvah bikurim is gratitude. Like stop. This is like. So he wouldn't like. He said, I don't know the question anymore. Like there's gratitude of Ada, and the fact that everybody's there, everybody should join in. Gadol Hashem iti. When somebody's mishabech Hashem, it's a very public thing. Come and thank Hashem. It's be mefarsei manes. It's like pashut. That's what pirsum menis is. When you experience Hashem, you share it with your friends. It's a tremendous kiddush shamayim. And he told me this about when I told him it's like I'm a little embarrassed. Is that the place? What am I showing up from him? He said, not at all. You mefarsim in an honest way, have such appreciation. You appreciate Chesed Hashem. You share with your friends. When you're in that space, mamish, of appreciating Chesed Hashem, you share that with others. And a person's in a space of gratitude, mamish, feeling bracha from Hashem, feeling that Hashem's, the kindness of Hashem, you share that with others. So on the 4 kashas, I have to say it. I don't want to just run over this. I want to share what the Noam Elimelech says. I don't think it contradicts gratitude at all. I want to bring out what the Noam Elimelech says. The Noam Elimelech says that Bikurim is as follows. The farmer works his head off. The whole summary mamish brings it. The tendency, I see Gavriel as such nice stuff. He plants many summers, nice stuff. The first thing that comes out is like a big deal. You work hard. I have planted tomatoes, cucumbers. I've done it. My wife and I have done it. I've spent times, I watered, and it takes a lot of care. A lot of vegetables take a lot of care. And they come out. Each one's precious. They're very precious. And the first one is like big time. You wait for it, and you're watching it grow and develop. And he describes in Noam Elimelech that we give our best stuff to Hashem. That's a Yid. A Yid gives his best stuff to Hashem. He doesn't give his junk. A Yid's about service of Hashem. It's tremendous ava, not martyrdom, ava. That we want to give our main kaiches. We give our best stuff to Hashem. And he says that specifically, Hashem wants a dira b'tachtainim. He says, here's a farmer who looks so physical. He's so shakua, he looks in Gashmis. His mamish working the soil. I picture Reb Shimon Bar Yochai when he came out of the tent and you see the farmer. Like, what's he doing? Is he spending so much time on physical? And then the farmer takes the first fruit and he gives it to the Rebbeinu Shalom, mamish, the best stuff. You know, all my work, I want to give it to Hashem. I want to use it in a beautiful oifen. And he says the Noam Elimelech is the essence of a Yid, that he's all about giving the best stuff to the Rebbeinu Shalom. And specifically, even his interaction with this world. He's busy with the world, it's true, but what's it all about? What's it all for? And he gives it to Hashem. And the Noam Elimelech says, Bereshis is the whole Bria. This is mamish, the Indian of the Bria. Shem makes your beautiful physical world, but it's all a chetimsa to connect to Hashem. Rabbi Russ said that the 2 things are not 2 pshatim. The Noam Elimelech's talking about giving Hashem our best stuff. Not throwing him like a junk, that the best things are for Hashem. Means this is what it's all about. Russ said gratitude is the very pshat, that even engaging in the physical, it all is to connect us to something deeper. A person appreciates the physical, but thanks Hashem. And everything, that's the whole purpose of the Bria, is to connect to the Creator of this world, to the Rebbeinu Shalom. That we're shaykh to Hashem, we're shaykh to connect to Hashem. So whether the pshat's gratitude, the Noam Elimelech doesn't discuss gratitude. He talks about giving our best to Hashem, that's what we're about. We want to give Hashem our best. Hayirtza Hashem is peschech. Like, I picture the opposite. A guy's like counting. Sometimes you have coins in your hand. A few pennies, you put them in the pushka. A Yid puts the quarters in the pushka. A Yid has changed. The best one is a quarter. He puts the quarter in the pushka, not the pennies. It means something to him. It means something. He gives what means something to him, to Hashem. He gives his best stuff to the Rebbeinu Shalom. A talent of a Yid he gives to Hashem. He knows what we're about. His best stuff go to Hashem. A Yid this week in Yeshiva, a Yid like gave his boat the whole week. Guys was using his boat. I was thinking of what it means a Yid. What it means a Yid. Like here, a Yid has an expensive toy. What's it for? He wants it to give that people get close to Hashem. The best thing. People give, Yidden give our best stuff to Hashem. That's Bikurim. And we're different. A guy maybe also gives something to Hashem. And what a Yid is a Metzius, that he's about, a Merkava L'Shchina. It's about Avodas Hashem. That's the ikr of his life. He doesn't give the pennies, like pay a little homage. But Yid gives his best things. Bikurim is give the best stuff to Hashem. This is what I'm about. The first thing comes after bringing it for a whole summer. The guy in the heat. I picture a guy like schwitzing. You know, a guy after he plays ball, he feels like sweating like Meshuggah. You Pasha can't give him a hug. It's dangerous. I picture the farmer is like schwitzing like crazy. And here he finally gets something. He says, this one's for Hashem. That's what I'm about. That's what you want. It defines, all that work. You were wondering why. It's for big stuff. You didn't have money. Why do they have money? To make a nice Shabbos Suda. To buy Fruity Pebbles for their child. They want to take care of chesed. They want to buy their child. To buy an article of clothing for their children. Chesed. That their wife can go shopping. I have tremendous hana when somebody in the mishpacha goes shopping. So what are you working for? I'm working. I want my daughter to buy a nice dress. It is about chesed, about kindness, about serving the Rebbeinu Shalom. The best thing comes up, and you see the farmer working the whole summer, and you want, what's it about? You're waiting to see what's this all about. The guy's mamish. He's working so hard. What does he do this for? Then the first thing comes up, and he mamish hands. The first thing, the best dezach, the one he was waiting for the whole time. Gives it to Hashem, the rashis for Hashem. The Naimeli Melech describes this is what a Yid is. The reason you describe our whole history, Bikurim defines us. It's not a side point that the person also serves Hashem. This is what we're about. Ani l'daydim, that we're about. This is what we're about. Sure, we're involved in this world. Sure, we go to work. Sure, we earn parnassus. But what are we about? What are we thinking about? The best stuff, the first stuff goes to Hashem. That's the Noam Melech. And he says such a zach, the whole city comes out. When the Yid's giving his first thing to Hashem, the whole city is what we're about. The whole Am Yisrael joins him. Chaviv in mitzvah b'shaita. This is the mitzvah that announced. We don't collect some mitzvahs. This is what we're about. Not like a collection of mitzvahs, like we also want to get some credit. No, it's what we're born for. This is what our mitzvah is, where people are about Hashem. Bikurim reflects this and shows us. So that's the Naim Melech describes in what these questions are. So we have two. I don't need to lump it all together and say it's one pshat. I have what my father would tell me, who spoke so much about gratitude and of course about Bikurim. We have that a Yid's about being grateful. It's interesting. The West is very into say thank you. Certainly, I'm very into, I want my kids to really have gratitude, to feel it. Real. You can't teach that. It's funny, you could teach say thank you, and you could hope in saying thank you. There's really a space. I want my kids, and once in a while I get there. Do you ever get in the space, like you see the Shabbos Suda, and you're like, your wife made it. Like she really did. She mamish worked Thursday night, Shabbos, you have such appreciation. The Rebbeinu Shalom really wants me to have good. Mamish. Real. Hakar Satayv. Now you throw up like, Mamish. Hashem wants me to have good. Hazana Sailum Kuloi. B'chein, b'chesed, b'rachmet. It's a space to be in gratitude. Goyim can have gratitude, but very in polite etiquette. Say thank you. I hear my kids say thank you, and saying thank you is a good desach. And I hope, but I hope when they say I hope the space of gratitude, the space of Hashem's kindness to us, a real tifa space, and the mitzvah Bikurim is the Yid lives in that space of gratitude, of appreciation, things of Hashem. One of the hard places, sometimes a person works hard, says, gratitude? I worked for this. I once said a Maisa here that I heard these ears from the Talmud who went for Rav Henoch Leibowitz to a doctor. He had gotten a very hard appointment at a doctor, and the doctor said to Rav Henoch, I heard from the Talmud who was in the room, and he said that the doctor, somehow Rav Henoch said, God will heal me. The doctor said, and he got this appointment. It was a very hard appointment to get in Manhattan. And Rav Henoch, the great Chavetz Chaim Rashiva, said that Hashem will heal me, mention God. The doctor said, excuse me, I'm the one healing here. Now what the doctor was saying, to explain, I don't know if he needs a down the Kav's what he was struggling. I went for years to medical school, you know how hard I work to do what I'm going to do? And Rav Henoch was saying, but we have to be makir. That I hear you worked hard. Who gave you the chachma, the capacity? Rav Henoch ended up leaving. And the Talmud said, Rebbe, we're not going to get the support. Rav Henoch said it nicely. He said, nice, the guy, if you can't acknowledge that there's God and that he runs, I don't want to, you're not the one to heal me. And he left. I heard it from the Talmud. It was an appointment he needed. It was a tough appointment to get. He walked out. The struggle of this doctor is he worked hard. And here you have the farmer who mamish brought it, and he brings Bikurim. He's makirs from their Banasham. Well, Avada is hard work, and Avada is good, and he can be proud of his hard work, but he's makir, it's from Hashem. It's from their Banashlam. I think there's a big bechin of Tfilas Mincha, that first Sfasem is based on a Sfasem, is a big Indian of Tfilas Mincha there. Mincha feels like this. That in the middle of the work day, the Yid stops and he davens Mincha. I'm so busy, I have so much on my plate. Hashem, you think, can we just let... No. I'm makir. All the work, it's from you, Hashem. I need you. I'm makir, it's from you. The Yid mamish stops his work day and he turns to Hashem. Inyan shall be Kuri. The Aschala, that's Kiveya, what we're about, the good stuff. It's the first thing, the most exciting. He gives it to Hashem. He gives the good stuff to Hashem. That car, this is my purpose. This is what I'm about. This is what I want to be about. This is my focus. So he mamish gives the best stuff to Hashem. So some of the inyanim of Bikurim. Yitz, what song are you feeling, Yitz? I'll tell you what I was... Oh, you. I'm not telling you. No, what were you thinking, Yitz? No.
Yeah. You go so many directions.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh b'dvaro. L'chaim, Johnny.
Which type of light?
You pick the one, Yitz. Samer l'Shem v'al yoy aged b'boyker boyker chazecha v'yemunascha b'aleilos v'aged b'boyker boyker chazecha v'yemunascha b'aleilos t'glodos l'Shem t'glodos l'Shem Samer l'Shem Samer l'Shem kol yoy na'yay le'agid b'boyker boyker chazecha v'yemunascha b'aleilos le'agid b'boyker boyker chazecha v'yemunascha b'aleilos v'chol ma'aminim shel chai v'kayom Go Yitz nailed it. I'm going to tell you about Ditchva because you gave such a kindness, such a song. I'll tell you the Bar. You know the Bar Ditchva in this, Gabriel? The Bar Ditchva asks Hashem's B'chol Maminim. Hashem's such a mativ. He's mativ la royim v'la He's mativ la royim v'la tovim. Frek the Bar Ditchva. It's written backwards. If he's mativ la royim, if he's mativ to bad people, shlechter, certainly he's mativ la tovim. That's a zuveins. It should say the kasha's eisen. It should say he's mativ la tovim u'la not just to tovim, even rayim. Loizu avzu Shem's mativ la tovim v'la rayim. Not just good people, even shlechter. Bam kasha. It's a zuvein sarach loimerzu. That's not the way of talking. Taisim Baba Kama asks it like a kasha. He says on a Mishnah, it's a zuvein sarach loimerzu. That's not the way of talking. Taisim Meruba asks Baba Kama. It's not the way to talk. You say loizu afzu. You build up to your biggest chiddush. That's the kasha, no shmoi. It should say l'toivim. You heard this before, Gabriel? The Bar Ditchva said that Rayim is a person who knows I'm not perfect, we're human. Toivim is a guy who's mamish, he thinks he's like mamish, so he's hot stuff. Shem's mate of L'Rayim, a person who's humble and feels he's nish the best. He has things. Hashem's, even a Toivim, even there was meant that he's mamish, so perfect. Hashem's mate to him too. The Bar Ditchva said. He's a mate, even a toivim, even what holds himself like he is so perfect that Hashem's made him the most. Maish, I told you this pshat before, no? Beautiful Bar Ditchva. L'royim ala toivim, even the toivim. Humble, a person holds he has what to work on, so of course Hashem's made him. It's Magbiya Shvalim. Even the toivim, the Rebbeinu Shalom's meitiv lakol. A guy holds mamish his toiv, Hashem's meitiv to him also. Sometimes by little chat, bringing him, reminding him that he might have things, but Hashem's meitiv to him too. We sing Yeschak Vani Bechastecha also because of the Ma'ariv Pshat. Vani Bechastecha we have many, many mitzvahs. The mitzvah of shofar that's coming up shortly. Of all the mitzvahs I see in the yeshiva, two mitzvahs I see that is chaviv by Yidden in a different type of way. Shofar and Ner Chanukah. I see something by guys in yeshiva. Maisha, you express this, how shocked, how house is, and nobody's cynical about the shofar. Nobody, Ravavi. I watch a guy who's struggling with many things. They'll ask, please make sure I hear the shofar. Then you expect, like a certain shofar. People, everybody, little children ask that they want to hear the shofar. It's a mitzvah that resonates by the Yid, like strikes different than other mitzvahs. The shofar, tremendously chaviv by Yidden. The shofar. What is it about this mitzvah? It's like different than others. I want to say that we're called to blow the shofar. We're Mamlech Hashem. And every Yid who's invited to the party of carnation, it means that we have part in Malchus Shemayim. We have for us to be Mamlech Hashem means that we have a space in the Malchus Shemayim. We have activities to be Mekadeshem Shemayim. Every single person has a space in Malchus Shemayim. They're called. If you're asked and invited to the inauguration, it means, and you're asked to blow the shofar. There are many like steers in Rosh Hashanah. Mitzad Echad, we're judged. Mitzad Sheni, we're Mamlech Hashem. The shofar itself, it's a shofar of Allah Elokim B'Trua. Elokim is judgment. Is it the shofar of judgment? The shofar of Mamlech, of carnation? To me, that's very similar. That me and you are judged mean that there's an avodah for us. That's what I hear in Din. From the biggest thing of Din says that there's a space for us and we have a task and a mission. Ma'aseh Ishuv Kudasa, his mission, is unique. Kiddush Shamayim is unique. The mitzvah of shofar is so chaviv, it calls to a Yid. It says, it's interesting, the shofar, besides carnation to Hashem, the Rambam says, Remez Yesh B'Davar. It arouses a Yid, and the Yid really hears the alarm sound of the shofar. But I don't think it's an aggressive. My children always tell us how to wake them up. My daughter will say, Tati, you do it like this. Nobody wants to be woken up. Get out of bed. There's like a sweetness. Oh, sunshine, let's go. Like there's an oif, and now you wake somebody up. The shofar wakes us up. It says to the Yid that your avoid is very big. Your avoid is very, very big. You matter. You're important. You're significant. That's the call of the shofar to the Yid. Your avoid matters a lot. I said to the Chevron when we came to Waterbury 25 years ago, the yeshiva had pews, these thick cement. You remember those pews? We had to carry them out. It would have cost crazy money. You know where they put them? In the local church. They put them a Rav Paskind, that it was for the benefit of the yeshiva that you could send them there. Now, pews, why would our Elter Zayda sat on pews? People can't sit on pews today. It wouldn't work. I'm not talking about like Ishmaka benches. They were like cold and forbidden. There was a bechina by our Zaydas of Yer Shemayim that, of course, Yer Shemayim is ever relevant. But if you want to tell somebody, sit quietly, just know your place. And there was such an avoid, and there's such a thing today also. But it's clear that the calling of today is a person chaps a space. You're necessary. Today is beautiful. Everybody has good chairs, a comfortable chair in shul. You're wanted here. You're needed here. The call of the shofar is a Yid's needed. A Yid's wanted. A Yid's important. A Yid's avoid that counts. So our bracha to all of us is we should hear the call of the shofar. Us and our families that we count. The avoid is wanted. My bracha, the Nachman says to turn all your Torah learning into a prayer. My prayer for us all is gratitude. We should be zeiche, not a forced zach. Like, be more makatoiv to your wife, to your children. It's a space. It's an emistic space. It's a present person. We're like, Hashem's a meitiv. He's kind to us. We should be zeiche to enter the space of gratitude. To have the Yishuv Adas, to be grateful to the Rebbeinu Shalom for the kindness that he always gives us, to be grateful to people around us, to be Makirei Toiv, a good Shabbos. Thank you. We're open, so